there is a line of Sahid, जब गिरेंगे ये महल तब बनेंगे नवीन घर. When this all forts has to be demolished, and I think something has been started. The moment these all forts are over, then the new small house of the common man may come, and hope that judicial reform will succeed.
Now, I request our chairperson, Honorable Ms. Justice Alexandra F. Foster, Associate Justice, Supreme Court of Republic of Palau, to speak on the topic.
Let me just tell you, Palau is a very small country. There are 20,000 people in the whole country. So understand that what we do in Palau may not necessarily be applicable to what you do in India. But I think that there are a couple of things that you may take away from it. We have recently passed an order called Special Order Number 2. The reason we've passed this order is because one of the big complaints of judges is that we don't issue our decisions fast enough. We sit on them, and we sit on them, and we sit on them, and everybody gets frustrated with us. So, in an attempt to self-police ourselves, instead of getting into trouble with the legislature, instead of getting in trouble with the media, what we have done is made a decision that we are required to issue our decisions within 60 days of the final either closing arguments, if it's a trial, or the final submissions of statements like summary judgment decisions in the U.S. and the Palau system. What that means is that if we do not issue our decisions within 60 days of these final submissions, then we need to face a panel of our peers, 3 other judges, who will then, there will either be an investigation or not. Typically, this is a very black and white issue. Did you or did you not issue the decision within the 60 days? So if the decision was not issued, then the judge that has not issued that decision is now facing sanctions. In Palau, like in the United States and probably in many other countries, the only person or the only entity that can impeach a judge is the legislature for high crimes and misdemeanors, as what it is in the United States and also in Palau. So you can't fire a judge, right? But there's 1,000 sanctions that can be imposed short of firing a judge. There's private censure, where you bring the judge in and you say, look, this is an embarrassment to all of us that we haven't been able to issue this decision within the 60 days. There's public censure, where you publish something with the local newspaper saying this is a problem and we blame this judge. Honestly, that doesn't really put the judiciary in a very good light, so we try not to do the public censure option. Another option is fines, to fine that judge until he or she issues the decision. There's also withholding the salary of the judge pending an issuance of the decision. Honestly, that's about as far as we go, and we haven't had to go that far yet. Judges, once they start to face the 60-day deadline, at least in Palau, and I would imagine in most places, issue their decisions, and they do so fairly quickly. So we haven't had to go to that final step of having to actually dock people's pay, but it is an option as a sanction. And soon after we issued the Special Order Number 2, it made the front page of the newspaper. And I think the reason for that is that the people, the lay people, and also the lawyers, this is, at least in Palau, the critical issue is this whole problem of not being able to issue our decisions fast enough. And so it's important to the layperson to be able to see the judges actually do care and are willing to police themselves and to ensure that they move along a little bit more quickly. The other things that we've recently started to implement is questionnaires. And you may have already done this or been a party to this, but in Palau this is a first. So we ask questions not only of the lay people, but we also ask questions of the lawyers. And not only are the questions about the fairness of the decision and also the appearance of the fairness of the decision, but the questions are also about individual, as to the lawyers, they're about individual justices and the demeanor of those individual justices. The trick, at least in Palau, definitely not in India, is anonymity. Because there are so few lawyers, the fact is that if you do a little bit of triangulation, you can probably figure out which lawyer is criticizing you and about what case. And so that's the main difficulty, and honestly, oftentimes in smaller countries, that becomes an issue. as I say, since most of my audience here is from India, I don't think I really need to spend a lot of time on that. But those are some of the main things that we have started to do as a judiciary in Palau in an attempt to have the people who we ultimately need to work with, have them respect us as an entity, as a judiciary. That's it. Thank you very much for having me.
Speaker, Mr. Uday Shankar, Dr. Uday Shankar, and I request Ms. Justice Alexander F. Foster to please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm Katie, I will note it down.
I'll write it in my book when I get back. Anyway. Yeah. Go on. Yeah, I'll give you one piece of paper.
So it has 40,000 population.
20,000.
20,000?
Even smaller, yeah. 20,000.
Very small. So at what level you are working here?
I've noted down my own numbers.
Oh, thank you.
How many levels are there?
I am
Just two. So there's a
author of certain books on accountancy and business studies,
All right, okay.
Excellent. Only 2 levels.
business management.
I will write this in my address book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your address is not there.
No, mine is here, but I'm saying I'll put yours.
I have my address.
Yeah, no, I will put it in my book.
Huh?
I will put this in my book.
Advantages, what it has to offer to judicial system in order to make the judicial system meaningful and in availing effective and speedier justice. Well, by information and communication technology, for my understanding, I'd like to say information and communication technology involves that machine called computer system which processes information and the connectivity between these computers which creates what is called cyberspace, Maya Lok. And this technology is fueled by the other technology called internet. Well, all this includes, according to me, information and communication technology. Coming to the advantages information and communication technology has to offer, whatever be the field, be it education, commerce, small trade, big business, everything is affected by this information and communication technology. Affected in a better way. It has many advantages. It has made the life easy, information accessible, and the list of advantages goes on. Coming straight to what information and communication technology has to offer to judicial system. While we see on the one hand this new technology, information and communication technology, led to new breed of disputes like domain disputes, cyber crimes, and so on. Though it has led to new breed of disputes, the same technology has answers to resolution of these disputes, even other disputes. That is where I would like to make my contribution. Information and communication technology and its integration into judicial system so as to make the judicial system effective to offer speedier justice. In this direction, I would like to speak on 2 ways of integration of information and communication technology. One is integrating the technology for administration of courts. The other is integration of technology in dispensation of justice. By the first, that is integration of technology in administration of courts. I mean, starting from replacement of old typing machine by the computer machine to hosting lot of information relating to the court on the website. So an infrastructure may be created starting from installing a computer, LAN connectivity between the computers, printers, and having a website, cause lists being posted there, information about the cases being posted there,
and kind of things. This may go a long way in ensuring the functioning of the courts in a speedier way. For this purpose, information and communication technology be made use. The other important utility of information and communication technology. We should think of integrating this technology in dispensation of justice as well, which is the mental activity. In dispensation of justice as well, to a great extent, ICT can be integrated. That is where we talk of, and I'd like to introduce that terminology called e-courts, techno-legal e-courts. It's time now to think of e-courts, again to repeat, to avail the benefit of speedier and effective justice. By e-courts I mean making the courts paperless, starting from filing of petitions and plaints online, filing them online, processing them online, serving the summons online, investigation online through video conferencing, serving the summons online through emails which are digitally signed in order to ensure security, kind of things could be the way out. And one mistake, if I can call so, that has been done in the system is lot of investment has been made, commitment is shown by the state in integrating information and communication technology into courts. Mere investment and procurement of these machines is not enough. Integration shall happen in the form of in the form of procuring the benefits of it. In procuring the benefits, in proper integration, I have two things to suggest. One is, apart from investing and procuring the technology, that is machines, two things needs to be done. One is develop or create proper software that is necessary for court functioning. Second,
courts and e-courts by my very learned predecessing speakers. And I can definitely take the advantage of building thereon. Let me begin by asking a question. Why at all does IT, information technology, have to have an application onto courts? Is it because computers are a fancy device? Or is it because dealing with computers and information technology is fashionable these days? Or is it because we have issues of space which electronic records help us optimize space, wherein this hall full of physical paper hard files might really be just carried on in a pen drive? Or is it because of fidelity that a hard copy record can be tampered by a manual transgressor, whereas a digitally protected soft copy record, whether it be a sale deed or any other document, can become tamper-proof for years and decades together? These are some of the candidate reasons why e-courts are gaining popularity. And different jurisdictions in the world are responding to e-courts for different reasons. Some for fashion, some for space, some for fidelity, some for convenience, and some for speed, and some for more than one of them. The reason why I invested time in focusing on this was, you as responsible thinking jurists